Hey YouTube. So yesterday we can see that there was a mass shooting. Forgive me for speaking softly. It's late and my neighbor downstairs is sleeping, so I don't want to be too loud. But taking a look here, this is very fascinating because I shouldn't say fascinating, that's the wrong word to use. This is very concerning. Um, because a week ago I had made a couple videos and I ended up deleting them. I didn't even publish them. I do that type of stuff all the time. But I ended up making a video and I stated that if we didn't strike Syria, that if the United States didn't get the ability to strike Syria, if we didn't make a move, that there would be an event in this country, an event similar to the Newtown, or excuse me, the, oh yeah, I think that's what it was, the Newtown, Connecticut Sandy Hook. And that sounds really weird for me to say that, but I believe that's where my research has led me. And after this event took place, I'm pretty sure I'm on the right track. And it's a scary track because my research shows I've been researching. I first started researching like paranormal and UFOs. And once I was able to see enough, I was able to see enough. I had my own experience, and that in itself people just wouldn't believe. So, but what's interesting is like 5 years later, after doing hardcore research, a lot of research, in the last 5 years, most people were, going apart. Well, they were just living their life. They weren't researching like I was. I wasn't hanging out with friends. I wasn't going out, um, socializing with people. I was sitting at home researching, trying to understand my own experience and understand what was going on. And it's just very interesting because ever since like 5 years ago, my mind's been really focused on the Middle East, and I had no clue why. And now I'm starting to figure out like why. And so what I want to say here is, I want to say a couple of things. Number one, this wasn't a random mass shooting. This was planned. This was well orchestrated, and it's not going to be the last mass shooting that we see. Obviously, now the District of Columbia, the place it took place in, very, very, very ironic, I'd say. Have you ever noticed images for watch ads? Have you ever noticed what time the watch is usually on? It's usually on 10:10. That's what time the watch is usually pointing towards. A lot of people are like, what? And the reason for that is because they're referring to the District of Columbia. 10:10. But some other things I thought was interesting is the shooter's name. I wasn't surprised by this at all, that his name is Aaron Alexis. Both his first and his last name is spelled with an A. The numerical value you would get with his initials would be 11. I was surprised that 13 people didn't die. I figured it would have been 13 on the dot, or 11 or 13. But people need to understand is I believe, see this research that I'm doing, I believe that we are going to see a nuclear war take place on this planet. And I believe that it's going to be devastating. it's going to be devastating. And I do believe that the United States gets hit. And I also believe that Europe, I believe that London gets just demolished. And I honestly have no clue about Israel. I really don't. Something tells me they just don't get any of it, you know. Even though I do believe that, like, Iran will definitely try to nuke Israel. Like, Israel's our number one ally in that region. And, you know, when you go to war, allies are, you know, targets. If Iran or Syria or Russia want to back Syria and Iran, well, they can just strike Israel because they're our ally. They're like our little brother. Even though they control the U.S., they control the U.S. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people have no idea about that. But see, the thing that people need to remember is that this is not about Syria. This is about Iran. And this is about Iran wanting to attain a nuclear weapon so that they can wipe out Israel off the map. That's what this is about. People need to understand that Iran believes this is their religion. This is what they believe. They believe that there has to be a nuclear war in order for their Messiah to come. That's what they believe. We might call that person through in Christianity, we might call this figure who arises after the apocalypse as the Antichrist, right? Who rules the world for a certain amount of time. I believe there is truth to this. I am not a big Bible researcher. All I know is my experience and where it has led me to research. But I do believe that there's too much prophecy being fulfilled. And remember that Israel wants to stop Iran from attaining this nuclear weapon. That's what this is all about. That's what Syria is about. You know, and now you've got Russia agreeing to disarm Syria of all their chemical weapons, which they started their chemical weapons program to defend themselves against Israel. So right now, even though Syria is claiming to have won a victory, even though Russia is claiming a victory, the fact of the matter is the true victorians is Israel.